Hello and welcome to my world, my RPG a day 2022 as I Coin Hunt World, that is. So, as you heard me say in the title, RPG a day 2022. This is something that happens every August for the past 9 years, I believe. Yeah, next year's the 10th year. Let me show you before we get to the first question. So they give you a series of prompts, the first day, second, so on, and every day you're supposed to go about, answer the question with the community and people on the interwebs and the people at your gaming table, if you have the chance to game that much. Alright, so RPGs, to me, there are multiple different styles. So however you answer these questions, depending on your style of RPGs. Video games, but there was a question that I'm gonna answer in this walk, and it was, what's your first RPG experience? And I'll be honest, I don't remember the first time I played Final Fantasy. I remember first time I beat a Final Fantasy, but I don't remember that first initial, what sparked me to go after Final Fantasy. But Dungeons & Dragons, I remember that first initial experience with Dungeons & Dragons. Like it was yesterday. And it wasn't yesterday. It was when I was 11 years old. And it's such a vivid memory that it forever burned itself into my cortex. So I guess I can relate that here on this walk, because I really don't have anything to talk about in Coin Hunt World. And my other world is RPG World. So let's crush them together today. And RPG a day 2022. Alright. Just walked up that hill. So, my first experience playing Dungeons & Dragons was the original Dungeons & Dragons setting. So there wasn't much to it. So I was introduced by my aunt's husband's nephew. So a cousin through marriage. And we were sitting on my aunt's porch, his uncle's, and he's like, I got a game. It's like, really? Because I like board games ever since I was little. Everywhere I'd go, I'd always rummage through someone's board game room and see what they had. And while the adults were talking adult stuff, the way they do, I was playing with board games. And my cousin's like, I got a game for you. I was like, okay, cool. So he's like, what do you want to play? I'm like, I don't know. I want to use a battle axe. That's the only thing I could think of. I didn't know anything about anything, but I knew I watched movies like Conan and stuff like that, and they always had big battle axes. And he's like, all right. He gave me two options. I could be a human, because humans basically could be anything. Humans, we're crappy because we're humans, but we have versatility in the game. I was like, I'm a human. I want to be something different. He's like, well, the only other thing is a dwarf. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll be a dwarf. So it was a dwarven fighter. because back in first edition days, if you were a halfling, you were the rogue. If you were an elf, you were the wizard. It was a very basic setup. And we played. And I don't know. We gamed. I learned what a 20-sider was. That's a dice, a polyhedral. And then I learned that, like, to deal damage, you used other dice and stuff like that. And it just seemed very, very logical to me in a game sense. Since I was a little kid, I've been playing board games, and me and my other cousin on my mom's side would like break down the board games and make our own, and we'd build up. And Dungeons and Dragons just seemed like, I don't know, easy to not manipulate, but to make your own game, to make your own like everything based on their rule settings. So that first moment was, like I said, I don't remember the first time I played Final Fantasy. I remember the first time I beat Final Fantasy, how long it took me to beat Final Fantasy, but I definitely don't remember what sparked me to play Final Fantasy. But Dungeons and Dragons, that moment in time will forever be seared in my mind. And I'm still playing Dungeons and Dragons now. Sundays are my Dungeons and Dragons day. That's what me and my group of friends who sit at my table at my house on Sundays. Alright, shut up and answer that question, Jimmy. Cinema? Let's try geography. This might not go well. What is the capital of Michigan? Cheyenne? No, that's Michigan? I don't know. Told you it wasn't going to go well. Wordplay. Spanish word means cheese. Queso? See? Sometimes I could handle Spanish because it was food, and we used to own a deli. So I don't know. I know a lot more food than I probably should. Jeremy, don't forget your water bottle today. Yesterday, that was the second day I forgot my water bottle, and it was just like I'm talking and getting into the groove of the talks, and just walk right past where I just put it down at. Oh, yeah. But today is RPG, well, this month is RPG a day. If you're into it, RPGs, gaming and stuff like that, look it up on YouTube. There's quite a few people that do talks. Like there's a couple people that I've been following for the past 9 years and watching theirs every year. And they're usually the top ones that come up anyways. So yeah, check that out. And the question I am going to leave you guys with, so I don't forget this, is, what was your first experience with an RPG? Maybe it's video games. Maybe you're here because you're a video gamer, and this is essentially a video game. I'm here because, I don't know, I like video games, I like games. But what was your first experience with an RPG? Was it a video game? Was it a tabletop? Or was it pen and paper? So till we talk again, pick up some trash, be nice to your neighbors, and yeah, generally, look both ways when crossing the street. All right, everybody? Have fun and enjoy. Be safe, everybody.